Filling in for Martha, it's Dr. Tom Smiley on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN. Always here, always local.
There's a holdup in the Bronx, Brooklyn's broken out in fights. There's a traffic jam in Harlem that's backed up to Jackson Heights. There's a scout troop short a child, cruise ships do and idle wild. Car 54, where are you?
Oh, that's in honor of Martha. Car 54, where are you? Oh, Tom Smiley filling in for Martha today because of the wonderful Democrats. That's right. They shut down the government, and it has affected our very own Martha Zoller. She was, well, as we say in radio, off on assignment. She'll tell you more about that tomorrow. But nonetheless, she tried her best to get in, and she just couldn't do it. The government shut down. Those rascally Democrats shut down the whole thing, and it affected one of our very own. So it was very, 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 very early in this morning that she returned back to her safe haven. But she is home somewhere, not exactly sure where, but she'll be back tomorrow. And boy, has she got a lot of stuff to share with you. I'm not going to tell you where she's been, but it was a very fascinating journey for her, and she'll have all the details coming up tomorrow. So, Car 54, where are you? Yeah, have you ever heard that before, Logan?
I have not, but that's a catchy tune there, Tom.
Logan, you haven't heard. You haven't seen Lonesome Dove.
Nope.
You haven't watched The
Shootist.
Shootist.
Nope.
You haven't heard of Car 54, where are you? Logan, did you live a sheltered life?
Well, let me just say this here Tom. I appreciate you coming back for this extra day so that I could add on to my homework list of movies and or television shows that I need to watch to just be better accoutrement with everything out there in pop culture. So I appreciate
and
that.
the big, tall, ugly guy that plays on the Monsters or the Addams Family or whatever.
Yes, yeah.
He was one of the police officers in Car 54. Where are you?
Ah, was
and
he?
What you didn't see in that audio clip was the video of him and his partner in the patrol car playing checkers as they're driving down the road.
I don't see many people doing that nowadays.
No,
I don't see it down here in the square.
Chief Parrish would not look very favorably on his officers playing checkers as they're driving. All right. Well, kids, gather around. Come on in out of the cold. My goodness. Whoa, it's cold out there. Shut that door. Get here a little closer. Come on. Everybody get in. Come on, kids. Get in. And let me hear you loud and proud.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, kiddos, thank you so much. Go either right or left out the door here, and you can find some ice cream or hot chocolate. I'm sure they can help you out. And put it on Mr. J. Jacobs' bill. He'll be glad to take care of you. All right, 770-535-2911 is our talk and text line, M&R Rentals call and text line. 770-535-2911. Give me a call or a text. If it's worthy, your text that is, I will read it. And one way to make it worthy is say something nice about the fill-in host. Okay, so if you say something nice about me, you're probably going to have your text read. But can't guarantee it. 770-535-2911. All right, look, I've got a montage of stuff here I want to play for you when we come back in just a moment. It is about Democratic hoax. Is it hoax or hoaxes? I can't remember. I don't know.
I'll just go hoax.
I don't know what
What's the hoax? Big hoax here.
I don't know what Miss Darcy would say about hoax plural. But anyway, they have been all about hoax for the last many years. And I've got a little montage of some of these hoax that they've been perpetrating on us. A bunch of fibbers. And we're going to hear that in just a moment when we come back, so stay tuned for that. I also have some great audio reels that I want to share with you about some very interesting subjects. And I'm not going to make any bones about it. You may call me Islamophobic or whatever you want to. I don't really care, but I'm going to tell you what are some dangers that we're facing as a country. And you need to hear it. You need to call a friend and say, tune in right now to the Martha Zoller Show. Tom Smiley's filling in, and he is not going to be bashful. So I'll be right back with these Democrat hoax that don't work, or however you want to say it. You're listening to Tom Smiley on the Martha Zoller Show.
It's the news that affects you and the talk that keeps you listening.
We'll continue on with additional discussions today as we stay engaged.
North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
You already know Gainesville Mechanical for their award-winning HVAC service, but did you know they handle plumbing too? Because plumbing problems never happen in a good time, you need a trusted, experienced team there when they do. From small leaks to major repairs, Gainesville Mechanical is here for you with 24/7 no overtime rates through their customer assurance maintenance plan. Proud to be named Best of Hall for HVAC and plumbing, Gainesville Mechanical and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep North Georgia cool since 1989.
Should you make your trust the beneficiary of your IRA? So many say you shouldn't, but we say you should. This is Kevin Tharp, elder law and estate planning attorney, and if you want your IRA to be protected for your surviving spouse, children, or family, then you should leave it to them at your death through a trust. For more information, go to my website, kevintharp.com.
This is Terrell with the Spa on Green Street. I'm here with Tara, and we're going to tell you a little bit about the fun we're having in November.
Tara, we have an early bird special November 17th through the 30th. Purchase a gift card and get 10% off of anything of $100 or more. We're also doing a very special Black Friday, November 28th. Purchase a gift card, receive 10% off, and get a special boutique item.
Come shop with us at the Spa on Green Street for your holiday needs.
This month, Pure Talk is supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat vets struggling with PTSD. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. Sure, I like the unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and you will too. But you will love being in business with a company that shares your values. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
This is the time of the year most of us are checking off our holiday gift list. Identity thieves have lists too, and your personal information might be on that list. Protect your identity with LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every single second and alerts you to the threats you could miss yourself. If your identity is stolen, your own U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to work to fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Make this season about joy, not identity theft, with LifeLock. Save up to 40% off your first year at LifeLock.com with the promo code BECK. Terms apply.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, National Weather Service has issued a winter freeze warning for later this evening into Tuesday. Will snowfall in the North Mountains? Details at Access WDUN and coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
It's the Martha Zoller Show, presented by Gainesville Mechanical. From the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
It's really amazing. I'm watching out of our windows here at our downtown studios here in Gainesville. It is a losing battle, the poor leaf blowers out there. I mean, the wind's whipping up about 100 miles an hour. They're blowing leaves and trying to cut them at the same time, and they're just going everywhere. And you've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys with blowers, one guy on a mower, it looks like, maybe 3 guys with blowers. And it is a losing battle, but they are violent. They are really working hard. I mean, they are not going to give in to those rascally leaves and the wind howling out there. So I'll give you a play-by-play as we go along today. All right, I just want to start off with this segment today. We've got lots of stuff I want to talk to you about. I'm okay that I came in today. I hate that Martha got all of her issues that she had in getting back home. But I had some stuff that I just was going to have to leave unsaid because I had too much show prep last week. So I'm going to kind of fill in today with some of the stuff I wasn't able to share with you this past week. And one very important montage or bundle of information I want to share with you is about these Democrat hoax, the very hoax that the Democrat perpetrated on us throughout the years. I mean, you know what they are. The fossil fuel hoax, that we've got to get rid of fossil fuel or we're going to lose the planet. Global warming, climate change, recession is coming. Recession is just transient. Tariffs are bad. They're going to break the nation. It seems like the left, the Marxists, the socialists, the Democrats, and I'm not being disparaging on their character, just their judgment, they always are perpetrating some hoax. And if you'll notice what it leads to, every one of the hoax that they perpetrated, the Russia hoax, right? The tariff hoax, the recession hoax, the climate change hoax, the global warming hoax, the fossil fuel hoax, all of these have one thing in common. They're all designed to give more power to the government. We want to tell you what you can cook your food on. We're going to tell you what kind of car you can drive. We're going to tell you, how cool or hot you can run your thermostats. We're going to take care of everything. We're going to answer every question you have. The government is here to help you. And it's really interesting if you dive a little deeper into these various hoaxes that they have perpetrated on us, you'll see that the one thing in common is they just want more power. Bigger government, more power. Let's just take a walk through history at a couple of things, and I'll show you how all this started. Now, by the way, I know this is a name from the past, and some of you may not like this name, but I'll tell you a name from the past that was the forefront of all this. It was Rush Limbaugh. I remember hearing Rush Limbaugh years ago, years and years ahead of his day, talk about, the foolishness of climate change, global warming. He pulled no punches about it. And you know what? He has proven to be exactly correct. I mean, here recently we've had Bill Gates just come aboard and say, "Look, I'm done with the climate stuff. I'm done with that. Let's get on to something else." But here's one very interesting for you. This is the first one I want to share with you, and I just want you to listen to this.
In 2006, Al Gore released An Inconvenient Truth, a film that defined modern climate alarm. He warned Greenland and Antarctica's ice would melt, driving seas high enough to put major cities underwater. He said that entire coastlines would have to be redrawn. 18 years later, though, none of it has happened, not even close. Meanwhile, Gore got very rich. While ordinary people were told to feel guilty and cut back, he built a fortune. He became the first climate billionaire. His wealth came from green investment funds, such as board seats and advisory roles, 200K plus speaking fees, and carbon credit trading. Al Gore didn't save the planet. He monetized fear.
That's exactly right. He monetized fear. That's the first hoax I want to mention to you today. It's just this climate change, global warming hoax. It was all just a bunch of nothing. Now, do we need to manage well our resources? Absolutely. Are we responsible? Yes, we are. I believe, per my biblical worldview, we are managers of this world and its resources. We are to worship the Creator, but take care of the creation. But this whole climate change, this whole global warming stuff, ladies and gentlemen, can you not see now it was just a big hoax? Al Gore got rich off of it. Really? Trading carbon credits? What did that do for us? And not only that, but there was a $6.1 million Green Deal effort where they built this huge solar panel place with mirrors shining back up and trying to capture the heat of the sun to convert it into steam. I don't know what all they were trying to do years ago, but just this is 1.6 billion just gone. Listen.
California's $2.2 billion solar plant is shutting down. Once hailed as a breakthrough, the Ivanpah solar facility in the Mojave Desert is now a case study in failed technology and environmental risk. Built with $1.6 billion in federal loans in 2014, the plant was hailed as a symbol of America's clean energy future. It used 173,000 mirrors to focus sunlight onto 3 massive towers, heating fluid to drive steam turbines. Complicated, expensive, and it never delivered on its promise. After just 11 years, the technology is now obsolete. On top of that, the facility became notorious for its environmental toll, with estimates of at least 6,000 birds incinerated each year by the concentrated beams. The promise was affordable, reliable, green power. The reality was high costs, technical failures, and ecological damage.
1.6 billion. Gone. Out the wazoozle. Really? Even the technology now is so outdated, it's not useful. These hoax. This may be one of the biggest hoax we've experienced. All right, one more on this particular hoax of climate change, global warming, whatever you want to call it. And this is your friend and my friend, to know him is to love him, John Kerry from 2009. Listen.
Scientists predict we will have the first ice-free Arctic summer. That exposes more ocean to sunlight. Ocean is dark. It consumes more of the heat from the sunlight, which then accelerates the rate of the melting and warming rather than the ice sheet and the snow that used to reflect it back up into the atmosphere.
John Kerry, what a doofus. From 2009. It's proven what he was talking about then doesn't even exist, doesn't even matter. Listen, I'm looking at a report right now. Here's a newspaper article. The Arctic Ocean is warming up. Icebergs are growing more and more scarce. Seals are finding the water too hot. This is according to a Commerce Department study yesterday. Reports from fishermen, seal hunters, and explorers all point to radical change in climate conditions unheard of in the past. This article goes on to say within a few years, it's predicted that due to ice melt, the sea will rise and make most coast cities uninhabitable. Oh, did I mention to you that this is a newspaper article from November the 2nd, 1922. Can you believe that? Can you believe it? Over 100 years ago. I'm telling you, this is all a big hoax. It's always been a hoax. And I'm glad, for one, that it's losing some steam. All right, here's another one of the hoax that we've had to experience from the left, the Marxists, the socialists. And again, it's all about power, controlling your life. And this is the hoax about how many genders are there?
Years, there have been just two sexes. And then suddenly, within the last 10 years or so, a whole lot more started to get invented. I am a biologist, I'm an evolutionary biologist, and every single paper that you read about animal behavior, evolutionary biology, evolutionary psychology, in the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom simply takes the two sexes for granted. And by the way, so do all the biologists who allegedly believe that there's a spectrum of sexes. When they actually do their biology, when they actually do their research, of course they simply talk about males and females. They know what the difference is.
Exactly. What? You don't know the difference between a male and a female is? Of course you do. I mean, I'm just telling you, these are all hoax that have been perpetrated on us that have proven to be nothing. What's the left going to protest now? I mean, climate change is a lost cause for them. The two gender thing is a lost cause. People know, it's not common sense. People know that there aren't more than two genders. My goodness gracious. So it's just amazing at how all of these hoax, and what I want to drill into you this morning is that every time you hear a hoax that is perpetrated by the left, it's only for the purpose of more and more and more power being given to the government. That's what they're all about. It's all about power to the government. And so I just want to put that out to you. I have a great clip for you. I'll have to find this clip that I want to share with you. It's a clip about Barack Obama talking first and scolding first black men for not supporting Kamala Harris, a black woman. I mean, he just scolds them. He just scolds them. And then he turns right around, and when there is a qualified black woman running for, like, the governor of Virginia, Barack Hussein Obama scolds them again for not voting for the white woman. I'll find that clip. You got to hear it. I'll get it for you after the break. I want you to hear it in his own words. We've got a couple of minutes left in this segment. We'll go to the phone call, pick up Jerry. Hello, Jerry. Welcome to the Martha Zoller Show. I'm good. Right. 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 Well, what's your next step?
And just keep, getting in touch with them and see what they can come up with,
Well, you've done great thus far, Jerry. You really have. You brought it to the forefront. It's now maybe it's going to get into soup, and sooner or later it's going to be processed out. I certainly hope so. So God bless you for your good work. On behalf of my family, my father was a combat veteran of Korea, and I have grandfathers on both sides in all the major wars. But thank you so much for your love for veterans, Jerry. I know you do it out of sincere love for your heart.
I appreciate you, and I joined your church just to let you know.
Yeah,
okay.
I saw that. That's great. That's great. We'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. I hear since the last guy retired, which is me, yours truly, the preaching's gotten a whole lot better.
Well, he's pretty. He must take after his daddy. Yeah.
Thank you, Jerry. God bless. Take care. All right, extraordinary producer. We got time for one more call? We don't. Okay, so I got to take a break. Got Steve. Was it Steve on the line? I can't see the name exactly, Logan. But we got
we got Steve. We'll get him at
okay.
the bottom of the hour here, going into our commercials as we speak.
Very good. You're listening to the Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley filling in. Don't go away. I'm gonna pull that Obama clip for you. Okay? Stay tuned.
This is Mike Martin with a thought from God's Word. As Christians, we should not live in fear. There's nothing that can happen in this world that God doesn't allow. God's ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. We should not have a fear of traveling or what may happen tomorrow. God is in control of all that happens. We should live in confidence that He holds our future in His hands. In 1 Chronicles chapter 29, verse 11 and 12, David's prayer is this: everything in heaven and earth is yours, O Lord, and this is your kingdom. We adore you as being in control of everything. Riches and honor come from you alone, and you are the ruler of all mankind. Your hand controls power and might, and it's at your discretion that men are made great and given strength. These thoughts brought to you by the staff of Milton Martin Toyota. Our name means a great deal.
I'm Frank Norton with the Norton Agency. Buying a home just got 10 times more complicated. You need a professional broker by your side to help you through the process. New buyer, seller regulations, lengthy contracts, the crazy mortgage process, inspections, appraisal, and then closing. You need Norton now more than ever. Call us at 770-532-0022 or look for us on the web at gonorton.com. Our family serving North Georgia for 4 generations.
Want the latest rumor? Check social media.
Social media plays a big role in today's society.
Want to know if it's true? Log on to accesswdun.com. We focus on the facts and leave the fiction to the others.
It's trustworthy and reliable.
Online news powered by North Georgia's News Talk. WDUN Gainesville, WDUN FM Clarksville, Gainesville. Always here, always local.
It's 9:30.
News, I'm Therese Crowley. Breaking the back of the government shutdown, 8 notable Democrats break with their party to help pass a test vote to reopen the federal government. On a day of 10,000 airport delays with government workers unpaid for a month, Senate Democrat Jeanne Shaheen.
This was the only deal on the table. It was our best chance to reopen the government
and immediately begin negotiations to extend the ACA tax credits that tens of millions of Americans rely on to keep costs down.
Waiting on the final Senate vote, then back to the House. Airport delays out of the gate today, already about 1,500, a similar number canceled. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth has offered to call up reserve military air traffic controllers if needed. Hegseth also posting 2 more lethal kinetic military strikes on known drug traffickers in the Eastern Pacific, all 6 killed. America's listening to Fox News.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, I'm Steve Winslow, and the National Weather Service out of Peachtree City issues a winter freeze warning through 10 o'clock this morning and again this evening into early Tuesday, with a late Sunday evening update saying all of north and central Georgia will experience freezing temperatures with lows in the 20s expected statewide Tuesday morning. Full details from meteorologist Holly Strano in just a few minutes here on WDUN. As the holiday season kicks off, 2 departments in Forsyth County are inviting residents to give back to those in need. WDUN's Lawson Smith with details.
The Forsyth County Fire Department is collecting new unwrapped toys and new or gently used coats for its 23rd annual Ariel's House program. At the same time, Forsyth County Senior Services are inviting residents to participate in its Holiday Gift Angels meal sponsorship and senior support program.
Full breakdown of the programs at Access WDUN. And SNAP benefits are back for Georgians, but with a catch, as GNN's Charlie O'Brien explains.
The Georgia Department of Human Resources announcing Sunday evening it will issue partial SNAP benefits for November to eligible recipients. They'll get up to 65% of their regular SNAP benefit amount based on household income and applicable deductions.
The full details online with more news at Access WDUN. Now here's your Access WDUN weather forecast.
Good Monday morning, North Georgia. It is cold. Outside of that, we've got mostly sunny skies, windy, and only in the mid to upper 30s. Partly cloudy skies, widespread frost overnight, lows in the mid-20s. From the Access WDUN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Holly Strano.
In Mount Airy, 33 degrees, Lawrenceville, 36, and in Gainesville, 35. From North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Hey, Georgia, are you ready for a pop quiz? No, really. It's an easy one. What's the best way to win money? Huh? How about instantly? Because right now you could instantly win $25 just for playing Cash Pop in store. Now through November 23rd, 2,000 winners a week will instantly win $25 just for playing. Just look for the prize alert on your ticket and listen for this sound.
You're a winner!
That means you won $25. So hey, let's get poppin'. It all ends November 23rd, so hurry and play Cash Pop from the Georgia Lottery. Please play responsibly. Always check and sign your ticket.
Looking for the perfect gifts to give someone this holiday season? Why not give them the gift everyone wants to get? Holiday scratchers from the Georgia Lottery. They're easy to give, fun to play, and really fun to win. So stop by your favorite retailer and pick up a holiday scratcher today.
Tune in to WSB Channel 2 for your official Georgia Lottery drawing and check out the Players Club at galottery.com.
Use the Access WDUN Talk and Text line, presented by M&R Rental at 770-535-2911, and be part of the conversation. From the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville, it's the Martha Zoller Show on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Welcome back to the Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley filling in for Martha. She was to be back today, but some things transpired in her travel arrangements thanks to our rascally Democrats there who shut down the government. So she'll have all that to tell you and more tomorrow when she joins you. So you stay tuned for that coming up tomorrow. Don't miss Martha. She'll be loaded for bear, as they say down in South Georgia. Let's get your phone call and talk to Steve. Welcome to the Martha Zoller Show, Steve.
Good morning, Tom.
Hello, my friend.
I want to tie all this together you've been talking about since the cows, if you got a minute.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hey, Steve.
Yep.
Before you do, let's cue the cows and then bring the people up to date. Here, cue the cows there, extraordinary producer. There you go, Steve. All right, I set you up. Don't mess it up, Steve. I got you set up for a home run.
Okay, here's the deal. You know, we're contractors. I'm the guy that bought the houses that the lots that Jack Waltrip donated to the church, and I've got them through Darrell Wiley. That's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Capitalism and charity work hand in hand, and you know that. So I'm getting ready to build a detached garage, okay?
Right.
So the first thing we did is we're cutting down the trees, so I shared some photographs of the grinder. And then my friend, who comes from a communist country, we educate her through an education visa, and now she's working on this visa you've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. I don't know how that works, but that's what she's working under, making good money. And she said, "Oh, you're saving the environment." And I text her back. I said, "Ain't got nothing to do with the environment. It's capitalism." And she goes, "How's that?" And I said, "Well," "you're talking about $2,000 worth of inert landfill payments." I said, "What we do is we go to Perina Drive and sell the logs. We cut up the rest in firewood and let my tenant have it because he's a landscaper, and during the winter he sells firewood. And then we grind up the limbs and stuff and give it to the property owner and spread it around, and he uses it for landscaping." I said, "That's capitalism." And she didn't get it, so I had the moment to tell her about the cows, selling the cows, and I couldn't remember. And I said, "Tom's going to be mad at me," but so I just caught part of it. Tell us about the cows and capitalism versus communism, and the way you told it that day.
All right, here you go. Let me have the cows there, extraordinary producer. Here it is, Steve. Thank you. Socialism is when you have two cows and you give one cow to your neighbor. Communism is when you have two cows and you give both cows to the government and they might give you some milk. Fascism is when you have two cows, you give all the milk to the government and the government sells it and keeps the money. Nazism, you have two cows, the government shoots you and takes your cows. And capitalism is when you have two cows, you sell one, and you buy a bull.
I got it now, brother. Thanks. Have a great day.
All right, talking about socialism, have you ever so here's a little audio on socialism if you think it's that great. Listen to this.
If you think socialism is such a great idea, ask yourself one simple question. When the Berlin Wall fell, who ran to which side?
That pretty much sums it up. Really? And have you thought about why do people in Cuba, you know, that great bastion of success, Cuba, why do people in Cuba take their trash to build a raft to make it to Miami? Why would you do that? Why would you, living in Cuba, oh, my wife says you got to quit laughing at your own jokes. It's not becoming. Why would you, living in Cuba or living in China or living in North Korea, why do you put forth so much effort to get out if socialism is so good? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Look, you can be a socialist right now without having to elect any socialist, Democrat, Marxist politicians. Just get you 4 or 5 or 6 friends, buy you 10 or 12, 15 acres in North Hall somewhere, start planting you some vegetables and some produce, and just share and share alike and have a great time. And then when you get tired of it and you see that doesn't work and you're not getting ahead, you can get in your Volkswagen Beetle, your hippie van, and you can take off and go somewhere else. But you see, that's what you can do in America. But when you in Cuba or China or North Korea, you can't get in your hippie van and leave. They've got you. They've got you. They've got you. So I just ask, if you think socialism is so great in New York City, if you think all the free stuff is going to be such a blessing for you, then why is it that people are building rafts out of trash and trying their best to get to America? Ronald Reagan was a great communicator. I love just listening to old audio reels of Ronald Reagan. He was so good. He's got some fantastic jokes. what a great communicator. And he tells a story about peanuts, popcorn, and Cracker Jacks. It has a connection to socialism. Listen to this.
He was making a speech to a large assembly, and he was going on at great length, and then a voice out in the crowd said, peanuts, popcorn, Cracker Jack. And he went on speaking, and again the voice said, peanuts, popcorn, Cracker Jack. And about the fourth time this happened, he stopped in his regular speech, and he said, the next time he says that, he says, I'm going to find out who he is and kick him all the way to Miami. And everybody in the crowd said, peanuts, popcorn, Cracker Jack.
Oh, that is so true. Oh, man. So we'll talk more about that as we go along, and other things I have on my list of things to finish up on from this past week. 770-535-2911 is our number if you want to call or text me. I'd love to hear from you. Love to read your text. Martha will be back tomorrow, and I look forward to you maintaining good listening posture as you stay tuned. I'm Tom Smiley, filling in for Martha. We'll be right back.
What you see is what you get. I call it like I see it. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, ladies and gentlemen. We have always believed that on this radio program.
It's Todd Starnes, weekdays at noon on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
For more than 40 years, Eagle Ranch has provided a community of support for children and families with significant challenges. I'm John Vardaman, a proud Gainesvillian and a longtime friend and supporter of Eagle Ranch. I've watched the ranch grow from a dream to a pillar in our community. It now offers outpatient counseling and a day school alongside its residential program. In all this change, Jesus Christ is still at the center. Learn more at eagleranch.org.
Are your fall projects piling up? Let's stay ahead of every cleanup job with the power and dependability of Steel Power Equipment. From blowers that clear your yard in no time to chainsaws and trimmers that make fall work easy, Steel has the tools built to last season after season. And when you're ready to gear up, head to Howard Brothers, your trusted Steel dealer. Their team will help you find exactly what you need to make fall jobs feel effortless. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Steel and Howard Brothers.
Whether it's a slip that ends in a slip disc, a trick knee that's holding you back, or shoulder pain hurting your game, you can count on Northside Hospital Orthopedics. With leading care in Georgia at convenient locations all across the state, we're here to get you back on your feet, no matter what comes your way. Because Georgia moves us, and we keep Georgia moving. Find a provider near you at northside.com/ortho. That's northside.com/ORTHO.
Rise and shine with M&R Equipment and Rental. Your project success is our first job of the day. Whether it's landscaping, construction, or home renovation, we've got your back with our wide range of high-quality tools and equipment. We make starting your day easy. Simply pick your tool, choose your rental period, and get down to business. No job is too big or small. From saws to skid steers, we've got you covered and at prices that won't break your budget. Visit us at mnrrental.com. We're here to help you build a brighter tomorrow.
This fall, give your lawn and food plots the winning edge with Limelight Pro. Now at Farmers Exchange in Cleveland. Limelight Pro is a premium, fast-acting pelletized lime that helps balance soil pH, unlock nutrients, and boost plant growth. Easy to spread, quick to work, and perfect for a fall application. Whether growing grass, gardens, or game plots, get the results you want with Limelight Pro. Farmers Exchange, your hometown partner for a stronger, greener season.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet newsroom, Barrow County officials respond to a resident's claims over open meeting violations from July. Details at Access WDUN and coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
It's the Martha Zoller Show, presented by Gainesville Mechanical. From the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Welcome back to the Martha Zoller Show. I'm Tom Smiley, and so very happy to have you with us today. So a couple of things I want to move to. Let me first, since we're talking about socialism and communism and fascism and all that kind of stuff, let me just remind you about why it doesn't work to tax people out of the wazoozle. It just doesn't work. Now, I know it's hard for some of us to think on this level because we're not at that place yet, but take for instance, if you making in New York or some other places, you're making a great salary, and you get to that arbitrary, line in the sand, so to speak, where they say, okay, once you make this amount, we're going to tax you 75%. In other words, you're going to get to keep 25 cents on the dollar after this arbitrary amount. And a lot of people think, well, that's fine. They've got more than they need, and they'll just keep working for 25 cents on the dollar. The answer is they will not. That's not how entrepreneurs and business people think. They didn't get to where they are because they thought like that. And what many of you don't understand, because you've never taken anything in economics, you had a very poor high school education when it comes to economics, finance, when it comes to social studies, social sciences. You have a very inadequate understanding, and you just think that works. It doesn't work. So here's a little man on the street interview, and this is a discussion between a businessman who has who is an entrepreneur who makes a lot of money, trying to explain to this protesting woman, no, I'm not going to work after I make the arbitrary amount that you say I can make. I'll just quit. I'll just furlough all my employees. I'll shut my business down for 6 or 8 months, and then I'll crank it back up at the first of the year. This makes all the sense in the world, and this is what's going to happen. And the GOP better get on its horses here and start explaining to young people how capitalism is the best ism in the world. Capitalism is the only ism that can raise you out of poverty. I mean, it's just a fact. Socialism, communism, Marxism, it hasn't worked in Venezuela. It hasn't worked in Russia. It doesn't work in China. It doesn't work in North Korea. It doesn't work in Cuba because it doesn't work. One of the famous economists said, I don't know who, Thomas Zoller maybe, I can't remember who it was, but one of them said at one time that it's amazing how the left keeps trying the same old ideas that's never worked, thinking they'll work this time. So I just want you to listen to this, and you put yourself in this man's position, and if you just don't go away from this scratching your head saying, I have to admit, he is right.
So you think that I should pay 70% of my income above $2 million in tax?
$2 million a year?
Yes. Do you
I think your next dollar should be taxed at 70%.
Okay, so if that's the deal, you know what I would do? Once my income got to $2 million, I would stop working for the year. I would furlough my employees and say, you know what? I've made my limit. I'm not going to work for 30 cents on the dollar. I'm playing golf. I'm going fishing. I'll see you next February. How about that?
How come that didn't apply in the 1970s and 1960s?
Because nobody paid those taxes back then. You know how many? I would much rather.
The economy was booming when the effective tax.
Because no one paid those high taxes.
Direct correlation with the national debt and the lowering of the effective tax rate on the wealthiest people in this country. You're not fooling anybody.
Listen. Here's a tip for you. When someone starts screaming at you, it's evidence that they've lost the argument. This is a very reasonable argument. Now follow me here. If you tell me I can't make but, say, $2 million a year in my business, and then once I reach that artificial ceiling, I've got to then turn over 75% of continuing profits over to the government to pay for your free phone, your free child care, your free bus rides, your free groceries. And you really think that's what I'm going to do? If I make $2 million a year, I probably have a pretty good net worth that allows me to have at least more than one home. I mean, Bernie Sanders, the socialist, has 3 homes. One in Vermont, one in Washington, and one cabin in Vermont. So he has 3 homes. You can imagine what an entrepreneur who has some level of business acumen would have. So he makes this artificial ceiling of $2 million, and then you know what he's going to do? He is going to say to his employees, all right, folks, here's the deal. You're taking a non-paid vacation for the next 6 months. 4 months. I'll call you in January. And he's going to go to one of his other homes somewhere, and he's going to play golf and enjoy life and spend his money because he has lots of it. And the furloughed workers will be lucky if they get unemployment. Now, that's what happens. You can't cut it any other way. These protesters know very little about what they're talking about, much less of what they're protesting. Here's some audio of a protester who sounds reasonable. I have to admit, this person, this woman, sounds reasonable. But you see, it's all just a word salad. She has no idea what she's talking about. She is indeed a silly protester.
Why are you out here protesting?
My name's Michelle, and I'm out here protesting because I'm against fascism.
Okay. What is fascism?
Fascism is words hard. Fascism is the authoritarian, why are words so hard right now? Sorry. Fascism is an authoritarianism that is about focusing on one demographic, right? So it's, I'm out of breath now. So it's taking over and excluding the people, excluding smaller demographics, and it's squashing opposition, right? So it's a regime that takes over for themselves and not for the actual people. This is supposed to be a democracy that is for the people, but this is just for them, and that's what fascism is.
Why are you out here protesting?
This woman, I don't want to say this woman because that may give you the impression that I'm being derogatory toward women. I'm not. This happens to be a woman. Okay, it could have been a male. This person is completely nonsensical. I mean, my goodness, you're out here protesting and you can't give a simple answer to fascism. Let me give you the fascism answer. Are you ready? Ask me. Why are you out here protesting? I'm protesting fascism. Well, what is fascism? Well, fascism is when you have 2 cows, you give all the milk to the government, and the government sells it and keeps the money. That's fascism. Who stole her cows? Who's taking her milk? I don't get it. She can't even describe what it is she's protesting. You know why? Because she's a silly protester.
What do we want?
We don't know.
When do we want it?
Also unclear.
Why do we want it?
Because it was forwarded to us in an email, so it must be true. Yeah!
That's right. What do we want? Are we not sure? When do we want it? Right now. Well, how do you know we want it? Because someone told us we wanted it. Ladies and gentlemen, what we've seen now is we have seen a total takeover of your grandparents' Democratic Party. The John Kennedy, even the Bill Clinton Democratic Party. It's gone. It's gone. There's been a complete takeover. It's been taken over by the socialist Bernie Sanders wing, AOC, Pocahontas wing. It's been totally taken over. Jazz Crockett wing. It no longer exists. And let me explain something to you. When I talk to you and when I describe these people as woke, progressive, Democrat, Marxist, socialist, communist, I am not being derogatory. I'm not being derogatory. I'm telling you, this is a question not about their character, but it's a question about their judgment. And they can scream all they want to scream and protest and yell all they want to protest and yell. But the old ideas that's never worked still won't. I don't know how to make that sound I don't know how to make it any simpler. these ideas that they're protesting, many of them who don't even know what they're protesting, but if they did, they would know they don't work. They haven't worked in Cuba. They haven't worked in China. They haven't worked in North Korea. They haven't worked in Venezuela. Haven't worked in Russia. They don't work. I mean, just go ahead. You have such a narrow view of life that all you really want is something free. That's right. Just give me my free phone. Give me my free health care. Give me my free child care. Give me my free. And those ideas never work. So there you go. I don't know what else to say to you. I don't know what else to say. You can give me a call if you want, 770-535-2911. You can send me a text if you want, 535-2911. I'd be glad to read your text, and if it's worthy, share it over the air. If you want to call, that's fine. So I hope that you give me a call, send me a text, 770-535-2911. All right, when we come back, I want to ask you a question. We've got some phone calls lined up. We have some texts I've got to read, but there's a question I want to ask you as we come back into this show at the 10 o'clock hour. I want to talk to you about the State Department revoking over 80,000 visas this year, including 8,000 student visas. So I know you've heard of it, so put your thinking caps on, do a little research during the break, and let's have a discussion about what you think. Should we be revoking visas of students who are protesting, who are breaking the law on college campuses? I mean, we already know that many of the students who broke the law and destroyed property on college campuses were here on visas. And I have to ask the question myself, why are they still here? Why are they still here? All right, we'll be right back. You're listening to Tom Smiley on the Martha Zoller Show. You stay tuned.
There's nothing quite like a local neighbor. That's why AARP is local, right here in Midtown Atlanta, to offer you free events and enriching experiences that help you with finances, family, and fun. We're in the community, connecting you to what matters most right when you need it. Visit our website at aarp.org/GA or visit us on social media at AARP Georgia to find out more information on how we're helping your money, health, and happiness live as long as you do.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
WDUN Gainesville, WDUN FM Clarksville, Gainesville. Always here, always local.
It's 10 o'clock.
The shutdown may end in a few days. I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News. After a late night vote finally ended the filibuster that blocked funding, Republican Senator John Barrasso tells Fox.
We need to get the government open. People need certainty. This has been 40 days of pain brought on by the Democrats, by this blackmail, and we see the light at the end of the tunnel right now.
It took 8 Democrats to break ranks with their party to end the stalemate and set up House and Senate funding votes this week.
Here's the deal. It is a CR, a continuing resolution to fund the government through the end of January. It restores SNAP benefits. It rehires workers who were laid off during the shutdown, and it also passes a couple of funding bills. The shutdown deal skips their crown jewel, the whole reason they were fighting in the first place, to extend the Obamacare subsidies. Instead, they got a promise to hold a vote on it in December. Let me be clear about this. It's not a vote right now. There's no guarantee it's going to pass, no guarantee the House would ever even take it up.
So Fox's Aisha Hasni reports from the Capitol. Many other Democrats are upset they lost their leverage as they want to extend Obamacare subsidies to millions of Americans set to expire at year's end. It's another tough day at airports during the shutdown. Another 4,000 flights either canceled or delayed, with air traffic controllers sick outs as they keep working without pay. Snowy weather is also a factor, a half foot or more in some places.
A real mess across portions of Lake Michigan right now. Chicago's been in the bullseye. Northwestern Indiana's been in the bullseye. This is going to continue to spread out.
Fox meteorologist Adam Klotz. Parts of Michigan also getting wintry weather. The U.S. military's blown up 2 more boats off the South American coast that Secretary of War Pete Hegseth wrote on X were trafficking illegal drugs, adding 6 people he calls narco-terrorists were killed. The Supreme Court just made news for a case it will not consider. The justices rejected an attempt to get the court to overturn a 2015 ruling that legalized same-sex marriage, refusing to hear the appeal of an ex-Kentucky court clerk who refused to issue marriage licenses to gay couples. America's listening to Fox News.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, I'm Steve Winslow, and the National Weather Service out of Peachtree City issuing a winter freeze warning through the evening hours into early Tuesday. As late Sunday evening's update from the NWS says all of north and central Georgia will experience freezing temperatures with lows in the 20s across much of the state Tuesday morning. Now, additionally, the risk of accumulating snowfall in the northeast Georgia mountains has increased to about a 30% chance for flurries or minimal accumulations below 1 inch as of late this afternoon into tonight. Now, snow is not expected across the rest of the state. Meteorologist Holly Strano's forecast is coming up in just a few minutes. After a petition last month alleged that Barrow County violated open meeting laws, the county has now responded. WDUN's William Daughtry reports.
In the county's response, they effectively denied most claims Alicia Balog made against them. Those claims by Balog came from a July 8th meeting regarding the addition of a full divestment from the county's SRO program right before agenda approval. The county's response said that their rules of procedure as well as state statutes speak for themselves. The county wants the petition dropped in its entirety, and Balog has 30 days to respond.
As the holiday season kicks off, 2 departments in Forsyth County are inviting residents to give back to those in need. WDUN's Lawson Smith has details.
The Forsyth County Fire Department is collecting new unwrapped toys and new or gently used coats for its 23rd annual Ariel's House program. At the same time, Forsyth County Senior Services are inviting residents to participate in its Holiday Gift Angels meal sponsorship and senior support programs. A full breakdown of the programs and how to give is on Access WDUN.
And the Senate is attempting measures to end the government shutdown as a funding initiative passed by a 60-40 vote Sunday night that would end the government shutdown and agree to a vote on health care subsidies, but Georgia Senators John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock were not on the list of senators supporting that agreement. The bill now heads to the House for final passage before going to President Trump's desk for his signature. Details and more news online at Access WDUN. Now here's your Access WDUN forecast from meteorologist Holly Strano.
Good Monday morning, North Georgia. It is cold. Outside of that, we've got mostly sunny skies, windy, and only in the mid to upper 30s. Partly cloudy skies, widespread frost overnight, lows in the mid-20s. From the Access WDUN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Holly Strano.
Thanks, Holly. In Baldwin, currently 35 degrees. In Duluth, we have 37. And in Gainesville, currently 36 degrees. From North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9, WDUN.
Putting people first and providing excellent service is what separates our company from the rest. Hi, I'm Christopher Earls, and Georgia Select Roofing is my company. In my years of experience in roofing, I've learned how to repair everything from a big commercial project to a doghouse in the backyard. And yes, I provide Snoopy with the same attention to detail as I do Bill Gates. I work hard not only at my craft, but I present what's best for your budget. Log on to our website, GeorgiaSelectRoofing.com. At Georgia Select Roofing, we put quality on top.
Some car dealers want to sell you a car. At Hardy Chevrolet, we'd rather help you find the vehicle that's right for you. This is Mike Cormier. We call it the Hardy Chevrolet difference. Since you're the one who will be in the driver's seat of that new Chevy, we think you should be in the driver's seat when it comes to making the selection. It's like Charles Hardy always said.
We love you and we need you.
Together, let's drive. At Hardy Chevrolet, Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville, online at hardychevrolet.com.
From the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville, it's the Martha Zoller Show. Talking the issues and filling in for Martha, it's Dr. Tom Smiley on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN. Always here, always local.
Welcome back to the Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley with you. What a beautiful day outside. The leaf workers are complete. It looks like they've got all the leaves gathered up out here on the square. We'll see how long it takes for them to fill back up. Bless their heart, they worked extraordinarily hard. All right, let's go to the phone, 770-535-2911, the call or text line. I'd love to hear from you, and we're going to check out Ed in Brazelton. Welcome, Ed.
Yes, hi, Tom. I just want to ask you a question, man. You just named a lot of communist nations a few minutes ago, and you compared the Democrats to a lot of these countries' economic policies. Democrats, number one, are not communists. Okay, all these countries you named are communists because everything that the Democrats are pushing for, it's been tried and it's been successful in other countries.
Where?
Where?
Give me an example.
You look at Norway. They're a democratic socialist country. Everything Mundani has been saying, Norway has been doing it for years. Universal health care, universal pre-K education, and their quality of life is a lot better than the quality of life here in the United States. I can go to Iceland. They have the same system. I can go to Finland. They have the same system.
Then Ed,
Switzerland. I can keep going.
Let me ask the question here. So, I understand what you're saying. So why aren't people trying to go there?
They seem to have a very strict immigration policy. If you don't know that, sir. So, they have a very strict immigration policy. You cannot.
Would you be in favor for a strict immigration policy here?
Absolutely. Okay. Every country should control their borders. This is one thing that I disagree with the Democrats on. I'm an immigrant myself. I came here legally. The way we did it, my father came here first. He waited 5 years, got everything organized, got a house and everything. Then he sent for us. We had to do our paperwork and everything, and we came to the United States legally. So I do believe in a very controlled, secured, immigration system. We're on the same page on that.
So, I was going to ask you a question or two because I'm glad you called because I've got all this show prep that I've worked up. So I'm looking at a chart, and I think what we have is, as it said in the old Cool Hand Luke movie, Ed, we have a failure to communicate because what a lot of people confuse social democracy with democratic socialist. And there's a big difference between democratic socialism and the classic traditional model of socialism. And so I think a lot of people get these two confused. And so I think this is a semantic problem. I really do. I think people are just confused.
But when guys like Bernie Sanders speak of democratic socialism, they always point to Norway. They always point to the Scandinavian countries. That's the example that they use. But Tom, you asked me about the countries, okay, about these democratic socialist countries. Now I'm gonna ask you the same question. Can you name me one free market capitalist economic system, a country that practices free market capitalist economic system that's successful?
America.
That practice pure free America.
Yeah, I would say.
You really think America?
As much as we are a free capital system, I'd say America.
If America was a free capitalist, a free market capitalist economic system, why is it that Donald Trump is buying shares into Intel? We own a big chunk of the government owns Intel, a big chunk of Intel, and he's buying shares of other companies.
Does that not make us? Does that negate us?
Is that free market? Do you consider that free market when the government owns parts of private companies?
Ed, I don't know exactly what you want me to say. I mean, if you ask me,
I'm just asking you a simple question.
I'm trying to answer it. If you ask me a simple question, I'm just trying to say, in my opinion, the best example of a free market society would be our American experiment. Now, I don't know that we are perfect in that. It doesn't sound like you think we are, but I mean, that's the best example I can give. Is there not in your opinion, there's not another working free market system in the world? Is that what you're trying to say to me?
No, I wanted you to give me multiple examples, all right? Just like I gave you multiple examples of democratic socialist countries, I wanted you to give me multiple examples of a pure...
Uh-oh, what happened? That was not us, Edward. I promise you to call back if you want to, Ed, 770-535-2911. So, yeah, thank you, Ed. I mean, I appreciate the discussion. Yeah, I mean, you asked my opinion, and I said my opinion is, in my opinion, which I may be wrong, but in my opinion, the best example of a free market system, however be it that we're not perfect, would be America. Now, you don't have to agree with that. Maybe you don't think there is one. But I'm telling you, what's interesting to me is whenever people, Ed, sometimes they want to lift up the places of Venezuela and Cuba and North Korea, and then at the same time they want to say, oh, wait a minute, they're not socialists. But let me tell you what happens, and look through history. It always leads to totalitarian tyranny. It always does. Look at Cuba. Look at Venezuela. Look at Russia. Look at China. All these, quote, experiments in whatever you want to call it, democratic socialism, democratic democracy, social, whatever you want to call it, it always leads to tyranny. Just look at it. Look at Cuba. Matter of fact, I'll play a soundbite from Castro himself here later on that is about his ideals that didn't take long to mushroom into total totalitarian regimes. So, I mean, I am not ever going to be a socialist by any stretch of the imagination. I am a free market capitalist, the best I know how to be. And I'll have to bone up on that some, I suppose. But anyway, Ed, sorry, we did not cut Ed off. We were having a very good conversation with Ed, and I appreciate Ed calling. And I commend him on his ideas and stance about immigration. So at least we're on the same page there. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. I want to talk about this question and ask your opinion. Are you okay with the State Department, with Trump administration, revoking student visas of students here as our guests who break the law? Over 80,000 visas have been revoked, and 8,000 of them were students. We'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to The Martha Zoller Show.
Get your day going with the show that wakes you up faster than your coffee. Mornings on Main Street on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Innovation at Jackson EMC.
To me, innovation is taking technology and doing something new with it.
I'm working with a global company. We're helping them be able to reduce their carbon footprint through some of our programs.
Here at Jackson EMC, we embrace innovation, such as solar power, electric vehicle programs, energy-efficient right choice homes. Jackson EMC, innovation for today, innovation for tomorrow.
Waste Eliminator is a full-service waste management company, providing critical disposal, recycling, and environmental solutions for business and residential clients. From large-scale commercial projects to smaller residential cleanups, Waste Eliminator offers reliable dumpster rental service tailored to your needs. Whether you're tackling a renovation, new construction, or even a simple home cleanout, Waste Eliminator will manage the waste efficiently and sustainably. Visit online at wasteeliminator.com.
Chances are that you remember the Brady Bunch. If you didn't see it in the 70s, it's still on the air somewhere today. It was a nice, tidy sitcom about a blended family, but they never had a wacky adventure that involved Mike and Carol's estate planning. This is elder law and estate planning attorney Kevin Tharp, and I can show you how to make the perfect plan for your blended family. Log on to KevinTharp.com today. It's much more than a hunch. That's KevinTharp.com SnapBenefits.com.
Friends, we need your help. As I'm sure you've heard, SNAP Benefits, the lifeline for thousands of seniors, children, and disabled individuals, won't be deposited this November. Georgia Mountain Food Bank and our pantry partners are bracing for a surge in emergency need, but we can't do it alone. Our shelves are low, and your gift will go straight to feeding neighbors in crisis. Thanks to Cook Law Group, your donation can be doubled up to $25,000. Visit gmfb.org today. Together, we can keep our community fed.
Good food and good folks make a good meal. You bring the folks and we'll take care of the food. This is Grant Nichols. At Loretta's Country Kitchen, we use only top quality ingredients like our new Springer Mountain chicken tenders. They're bigger than other tenders and are locally raised, so they're always fresh. Speaking of fresh, we have an entire walk-in cooler dedicated just to fresh produce. That's why we say at Loretta's, it's all good. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it's Loretta's Country Kitchen, Mundy Mill Road in Oakwood.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, Habersham County Landfill is recognized by the 2025 Recycling Award in Georgia for Outstanding Government Program. Details at Access WDUN. And coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
Use the Access WDUN Talk and Text line, presented by M&R Rental at 770-535-2911, and be part of the conversation. From the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville, it's the Martha Zoller Show on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Well, I could hear some of you screaming out there in my conversation with Ed because you were trying to, say the answer to his question that I was fumbling around with. And Ed, once again, we did not cut Edward off. We don't do that. I'll tell you if I put you on the exit ramp. I'll be honest with you. But no, Ed, we were having a very pleasant conversation. You were asking about free market countries, free market economies. I've always of the opinion that America is an example of that. But technically, and I know many of you were screaming at the radio when I was talking, technically, America is more of a mixed market economy. That's true. I get that. And I do know that some free market economies like Singapore, Switzerland, Ireland, and Taiwan are usually ranked among the highest when it comes to economic freedom. And according to one poll that I look at, that I am aware of, we're kind of we're like in the top 20 or something. So I suppose there's an argument that can be made that America is not perhaps the greatest example of a free market society. So I get that. But my comment about socialism is that what it always leads to. And I know that, people like to tout, Norway and these other Nordic models. But, these are all mixed economies too. Like, for instance, Norway is a mixed economy. Norway has a combination of capitalism and socialism. And it does feature some free market capitalistic systems or processes, but there is a huge, extensive welfare state that's also funded by very high taxes and significant government ownership in strategic areas like, for instance, just to name a couple, oil and gas. So is there a perfect system? Probably not, but I can tell you the greatest ism that exists to lift people out of poverty, in my opinion, is capitalism. And I just want to point out again, do your history, do your homework. It looks as if every socialist movement ends up, for the most part, there are some examples. There are some exceptions, but look how it always ends up in tyranny. Because it's just unnatural. When you start taking from people to give to someone else who doesn't work for themselves, it just kills the spirit. All right, well, that's enough about that. Maybe we all need to take more lessons in economics and understand better the systems that we promote. It's 10:19 here on the Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley filling in for Martha. So happy that you are with me. 770-535-2911. Love to hear from you. Call or text. So what do you think about the State Department revoking visas of more than 80,000 non-immigrant, more than 80,000, and 8,000 of those were student visas? Now, this all comes on the heels of course, some illegal action, some criminal action of many students who were here as our guest. And many of them were revoked because they were actually praising the death, the murder, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So that's where many of these people were found to be lacking. The Trump administration said it's rescinded tens of thousands of non-immigrant visas since January, pointing to criminal activity as the primary reason. So, okay, that's the primary reason. You may not, I know some of you don't believe that, but just for the sake of argument and for the sake of you giving me your opinion, if students here as our guest break the law, do they have a right to remain? Or should we revoke their visas and send them home? More than 8,000 students have been sent home. And again, the top reasons for these revocations were assault, theft, driving under the influence, and other crimes reported. You know, the government agency that I'm looking at right here said it pulled more than 16,000 visas, 16,000 for DUIs, more than 12,000 for assault, and more than 8,000 for theft. So are we all on the same page here? Are we all on the same page? Do you support Marco Rubio in the State Department revoking visas for the reasons that I have just indicated? If you're overstaying your visa, if it's expired, should you go? If you're involved in criminal activity, should you go? If you're a threat to public safety, should you go? If you engage in some form of terrorism or providing support for terrorists, should you go? That's the question. Now, I know what upsets a lot of people is that the administration has broadly defined support for terrorism to include criticism of the U.S. and support for Israel and the Jewish state. And the federal government has often used this as justification to cancel visas. Okay, well, I mean, that's a matter of opinion, I suppose. They're not citizens. I don't think you can show me a single example of a citizen, a United States citizen who's been deported for the aforementioned issues. But do we owe non-citizens who are here as our guests that same leadway? Or if you're here as a guest in our country and you break the law, assault, DUI, burglary, theft, terroristic activities, supporting of terroristic people, do you have a right to stay? And while we're on the subject, we might as well put your thinking cap on and ask the question as well: how many student visas are too many? I should do some research here. I will on the next break. I mean, how many Chinese nationals are in our collegiate school system? How many? Tens of thousands. Is that a good idea? I mean, I'm just telling you, they're not all here just to get an education. So these are just some questions I have for you, and we'll talk more about it if you like. 770-535-2911. You can give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. You can join that conversation. I'm just wondering what you think about that particular policy. Well, James Carville said something I want to talk about before we go to our next break. And when we come back, I want to talk specifically. And when we come back, put your thinking caps on, because when we come back, I want to talk specifically about the Nigerian Christian massacres that are taking place. You'll hear from the press secretary and from the president himself talking about the Nigerian Christians being just butchered. And that's a story I want to give some time to, and we'll do that. By the way, Steve Moore is supposed to be with us at 10:30. I hope he will. He wants to talk, or we will talk specifically about the government shutdown, and is it really over? Do you think it's going to get over? But James Carville came out, and he mentioned something about his guarantee that the presidency would be won by the Democrat, the House would be won by the Democrat, the Senate would be won by the Democrat. Extraordinary producer, do you have the James Carville audio?
Let me dig for that real quick, and I'll get.
It's a very interesting article because James Carville, who has been wrong on just about every front. So it's not like, well, the sky's falling. James Carville said it. I doubt very seriously if a Democrat is going to win the White House, if the Democrats are going to secure control of the Senate and the House. I'll be very, very surprised. However, it's not outside the realm of possibility. We have seen how fickle the electorate can be. Right? We have seen how fickle they can be. And a lot of the government shutdown situation, ladies and gentlemen, and I just hope you understand this, that, I think we've been sold a bill of goods by the more conservative cable networks who for the last several months have been telling us how the Democratic Party is just in total demise and how they couldn't win anything. And I think we have bought into that a little too early. I'm telling you, people are fickle and they'll turn on a dime. And if the Democrats if they continue this shutdown nonsense and affect the economy, people will vote their pocketbooks. That's what will happen. Here's James Carville in his wonderful prediction.
To happen. A Democrat is going to be elected in 2028. You know that. I know that. It's going to be a Democratic House. It's going to be a Democratic Senate. The Democratic president is going to announce a special transition advisory committee on the reform of the Supreme Court, that we could have our third branch of government has lost the faith and trust of the American people.
There you go. Is James the prognosticator? Is he the guy that's going to, be right? I doubt it. He's hardly been right about anything else. He did tell us that Kamala Harris was going to win in a landslide. He did tell us that. And that didn't happen. I'll be very surprised if this prediction comes to pass. But the point that you need to see is beyond his prediction. You need to see what he predicts they will do if they get in power. I'm going to tell you, it's always important to listen to what somebody says they're going to do because they usually do it. And the Democrats have already said what they want to do. They need to pack that Supreme Court with 3 more very liberal progressive justices so they can continue their lunacy, their left-wing lunacy. So they continue to have boys and girls bathrooms. So they can continue to have transgender surgeries for boys and girls as young as 8 years old. They've got to do that to gain power because their ideas don't work. We'll see if Mr. Carville is correct. You're listening to Tom Smiley on the Martha Zoller Show. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Talking with Haley from Clipper Stores, and of course, Clippers puts the C in convenience. And I'll tell you, one of the biggest things you've done is that drive-thru. It's fantastic.
Yes. You can pull through the Clipper drive-thru and literally get anything you want from inside, Bill.
I know when I'm on the road with the dog, I like to whip through the one in Claremont and say, I need a Dr. Pepper and some peanut M&Ms, and boom, right there.
And Dino can get a little treat, too. You got to get the little pup cup for him.
Clipper, never fly solo.
This month, Pure Talk is supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat vets struggling with PTSD. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. Sure, I like the unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and you will too. But you will love being in business with a company that shares your values. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom. Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Work up an appetite and help the Cops and Kids Christmas program. Be part of the Cops and Gobblers 5K and Fun Run. It starts in front of our studios in downtown Gainesville Thanksgiving morning. Register today at copsandgobbler's5k.com. Brought to you by Hasty Pope and North Georgia's News Talk.
Happy Thanksgiving.
WDUN Gainesville, WDUN FM Clarksville, Gainesville. Always here, always local.
It's 10:30.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. House Speaker Mike Johnson says he wants a vote as soon as possible on passing a bill to reopen the government.
It's after 40 days of wandering in the wilderness and making the American people suffer needlessly. Some Senate Democrats finally have stepped forward to end the pain.
Now that there's a runway for its passage in the Senate.
The Democrats accepted an offer that was always on the table. The shutdown deal skips their crown jewel, the whole reason they were fighting in the first place, to extend the Obamacare subsidies. Instead, they got a promise to hold a vote on it in December. Let me be clear about this. It's not a vote right now.
Fox's Aisha Hasni, the U.S. Supreme Court rejects the call to overturn its landmark decision to legalize same-sex marriage nationwide while agreeing to decide whether states can continue to count late arriving mail ballots. America's listening to Fox News.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, I'm Steve Winslow, and the National Weather Service out of Peachtree City issues a winter freeze warning for this evening into early Tuesday, with the late Sunday evening update from NWS saying all of north and central Georgia will expect to have freezing temperatures with lows in the 20s statewide Tuesday morning. More details at Access WDUN. Senate is attempting measures to end the government shutdown with a funding initiative passed by a 60-40 vote Sunday night that would end the government shutdown and agree to a vote on health care subsidies. But Georgia Senators John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock were not on the list of senators that supported that agreement. The bill now heads to the House for final passage before going to President Trump's desk for his signature. And cancellations are mounting up at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport as the FAA began cutting back flights over the weekend at the country's largest airports. And as air traffic controllers navigate through the federal shutdown, FlightAware reported about 450 cancellations and over 860 delays in Atlanta on Sunday. You can find more news and details by going online at Access WDUN. Now, here's your Access WDUN weather forecast. With all the details, here's meteorologist Holly Strano.
Good Monday morning, North Georgia. It is cold. Outside of that, we've got mostly sunny skies, windy, and only in the mid to upper 30s. Partly cloudy skies, widespread frost overnight, lows in the mid-20s. From the Access WDUN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Holly Strano.
Well, the National Weather Service says a winter freeze warning currently not in effect. It will be later tonight into tomorrow. Currently in Young Harris, 33 degrees, Jefferson with 38 degrees, and in Gainesville, 36. From North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9, WDUN.
Have you ever been at your wit's end over your community? Hi, this is Whit Martin, pastor of Asbury Chapel. There are plenty of ups and downs in a community. But as God's people, we have a command in Jeremiah 29:7 that tells us to seek the peace and prosperity of the city, to pray to God for it, because if the city prospers, then the people will prosper. I want to encourage us today to truly look for ways to be a blessing to the community. The best way is to offer the truth of Jesus Christ to any and all, so that the change He brings can transform the place we live into a place that reflects the kingdom of God. Many of us know the Lord's Prayer, praying, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." If our prayers and our efforts are aimed at God's kingdom making a difference here, what goodness and grace there can be for us all. And that is Wit's End. Asbury Chapel invites you to learn more by joining us for worship on Sundays at 10 a.m. Visit asburychapel.net for more information.
It's the Martha Zoller Show, presented by Gainesville Mechanical, from the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Welcome back to the Martha Zoller Show. I am Dr. Tom with you, filling in for Martha. She'll be back tomorrow. Lots of calls and text. I'll read those after we get done with our next guest, Steve Moore. Welcome, Steve. So happy to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Now, look.
By the way, I've been stuck in airports
weekend. So it's just been a god-awful mess. And thank you, Chuck Schumer, for causing this turmoil. And hopefully it's coming to an end.
That's exactly why I am filling in for Martha today. She got stuck in Newark and was going to be on a 10 o'clock flight, 4 o'clock flight, 7 o'clock flight, 9 o'clock flight. She got in at 3 o'clock this morning. So, Steve, I want you to listen to something that's about 1 minute and 10 seconds. I want you to listen to this. This is a conversation that Senator McCormick and Senator Fetterman are having together. Just about a minute and 10 seconds. And I want you to give me your thoughts about why we can't have that in Georgia, in other places. Listen to this for just a moment.
Here we are in Washington, D.C., and it is shut down. But now here, it's both Pennsylvania's voice here in the U.S. Senate, even though we are in a different party. And we both want to talk about why we believe it's so important to reopen this government.
23 days, 12 votes. Senator Fetterman and I have both voted to open up the government. We agree on that 100%. It's really starting to hurt Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania's air traffic controllers, border patrol, and also 2 million recipients of SNAP. We've got to get the government open. That's our main responsibility, and I'd say that regardless of what party's in the majority.
So I think our votes are about country over party at this point. And now we have 2 million Pennsylvanians that rely on SNAP. That's going to stop. And now you can now reopen this government and have an earnest conversation about extending those tax credits. We know we're going to participate in this process. That's why we both vote to open up our government. We're in a different party. We're on the same team for Pennsylvania and our nation.
Pennsylvanians expect it. Pennsylvanians deserve it.
What do you think, Steve?
How many of your 2 Georgia senators would go along with that? I think 0.
Yeah.
It's pathetic. Look, I am so frustrated by this. I've been in Washington for 40 years. I've lived through, I think, about 14 or so of these government shutdowns, and usually they get resolved in 2 or 3 or 4 days. This is, I think, the longest shutdown we've had. I may be wrong about that.
That's correct.
But
That's correct. Yes.
But it's gone way too long. It's causing, as I said, havoc, turmoil, a lot of problems for the economy. So I'm glad to hear it looks like in the next day or 2 this will be over. I'm in Florida right now. I don't know if I can get back. Literally, usually, from South Florida, like Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, Miami area, there's a flight like every half hour to the D.C. area. We looked, there was not a single flight. Wow. Not a single flight all day until like 9 o'clock at night. So that's what people are sleeping in the airports now.
Yeah. So Steve, let me ask you. So from a pure from a pure economic perspective, I mean, the Democrats aren't stupid. Now they may do idiotic things, but do you think there was some method to their madness? I know number one, they wanted to wait till after the election, right? They wanted to show how tough they were. But don't you think they also want to see this economy tank and thereby help their chances in the midterms? I mean, is that part of their strategy?
Everything's politics with the Democrats. And look, the Republicans can be pretty political too. I'm not blaming one party for this, but everything is about holding on to power for the Democrats or taking power away from Trump. And so the fact that they've caused, in other words, I said this on Martha's show 3 months ago before this all started. Chuck E. Schumer wanted this to happen. This isn't by accident. This was planned. He wanted to cause the most inconvenience, anger people as much as possible to win political points. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent. That's shameful. And so here we've, it's costing us billions of dollars a day. It's disrupting our business. It's making, travel plans horrible. Now, one thing I have to say, how can we have 42 million Americans on food stamps today? I just find that to be so outrageous. We're the richest country in the world. There are jobs aplenty in this country, and 42 million people are getting free food. And, I see it at the grocery store that people are loading up their carts with all this stuff, and then they're paying with taxpayer money. I don't know. I find that to be outrageous. Look, if people are truly hungry, we don't want anybody to go hungry in this country. But 1 out of 8 Americans needs the taxpayer to pay for their food. It's crazy. We've become a dependency society, and the best way to feed your family is become independent. Get a job that pays.
So, Steve, let me ask you a question about the nuclear option. I mean, it may be a moot point now because it seems like they may be getting this resolved. But moving forward, What is the hope? What's the possibility of Trump getting aspects of the big, beautiful bill passed through the Senate if, 5 or 6, Democrats can hold up the whole ball of wax? I mean, is it time to do something with the filibuster?
Oh, no. The filibuster is one of the most important safeguards of our freedom. We never want to get rid of the filibuster. If it should take 65 votes to pass the thing, the more laws Congress passes, the more they take away our freedom. So, look, I love Donald Trump. I think he's a great president. I think he's doing amazing things for our economy. I've been so privileged to work, for him over the years. But, oh, my God, no, the filibuster is absolutely critical. The Senate, we're not a majority rule country. We have the whole Constitution was based on the idea that we protect the rights of the minority. So, God, no, we don't want to get rid of the filibuster. We want to protect it because, look, if the Democrats took charge, can you imagine if you had a President Kamala Harris with 55 Democratic senators? They'd make Washington D.C. a state. They would make Puerto Rico a state. They would get rid of right to work laws all over the country.
Pack the
We'd
Supreme
have
Court.
national health insurance. Yeah, exactly. They do all that stuff. So thank God we have a filibuster.
So, Steve, do you trust? I mean, you're around these people more than the average person like me or those of our listeners. So you trust the Democrats not to? J.D. Vance said recently, we can't not do something because we're afraid the left would do something. The left, he said, is already going to do it. James Carville just said the Democrats are going to win in 28. They're going to win the presidency, the Senate, and the House. And when they do, they're going to pack the Supreme Court. So you still you kind of trust there will be some common sense with the Democrats to not themselves kill the filibuster?
Well, of course, the Democrats will do everything they possibly can. That's why the filibuster is so important. And I think I think most Americans, the vast majority of Americans, agree with me that no matter what party is in charge, we want safeguards against laws that would take away our freedoms. And look, we'd have a 50% tax rate if you didn't have a filibuster today. So, of course, they try to abuse power. They tried to do all this stuff. If you go back to Obama's first year in office, when they had, I think 58 senators, they had the House, they had the White House. They tried to do all of this stuff. They tried to pass a slew of, remember card check, where you take away the ability for people to vote on union elections. And it was the filibuster that saved us, and I think we need to keep it. But you're right; they will try to abuse the powers of government any way that they can, which is why we have these safeguards in the first place.
We're talking to Steve Moore, of course, and he's a regular on the Martha Zoller Show. So very happy. I see you all the time, and so happy to have you here. Steve, can you tell me, in your opinion and our listeners, do you really see doom and gloom for New York with Madami's election, or do you think it's just going to be okay, or do you think there will be a Madami migration?
Well, look, New York is already being bled dry by states like Florida, where I'm in right now, or Texas and the Carolinas and Tennessee and Utah. So, the state of New York has lost 2 million people in just the last 10 years. So that migration out of New York will continue. By the way, the reason people are leaving, of course, is because New York and by the way, California is losing a lot of people too. Those are the two highest tax states in the country. So people are moving to states like Texas and Florida that have no income tax. And by the way, when is Georgia going to become a no income tax state? I've been bugging Martha about that for years. I mean, you want to see rocket fuel for the Georgia economy.
Yeah.
You want to create hundreds and hundreds of thousands of new jobs. Get rid of your stupid income tax.
Yep.
I mean, you're surrounded by two states that don't have an income tax. So get rid of yours. So anyway, that's your mission for the day. Okay, let's get rid of this income tax. I mean, my God, it would be like, as I said, it's not an accident that the three fastest growing states are Tennessee, Florida, Texas. What do they have in common?
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah.
No income tax.
Yep. Well, Steve, we'll do our best here. I'll tell you that.
I'm not trying to put too much weight on your shoulder. I tell Martha this every week. But, and my good friend, I have so many good friends in the state of Georgia who are telling me, when are we going to get rid of our income tax? And Joe McCutcheon is one of them.
Yep.
And Joe, I know you're listening. Let's work together and get the income tax rate in Texas to 0.
Good job. Thank you, Steve Moore. Appreciate you calling
Thank you.
in. I really do appreciate your time. Yeah, appreciate Steve Moore. He calls in often and talks to Martha and is very well known and has a lot of great ideas. All right, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, I think I found that Obama audio where he criticizes the black men for not voting for Kamala, and then he turns right around and goes to Virginia and tells the black men not to vote for the black woman, Winsome Earl Sears. So we'll see if I can find that. But a lot more to talk about. We got another segment to go on the Martha Zoller Show. You stay tuned. We'll be right back. I am Tom Smiley.
Keeping you up to date with the latest news and weather. It's what we do every day.
It's the news I trust.
North Georgia's News Talk. AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN. Always here, always local.
As an electric cooperative, Jackson EMC must always have an eye on the future, exploring the newest innovations taking place in every area of our business. Ideas that lead to a better use of resources and improved ways of conducting business. Automated switch technology, iPads in the field, and internal networking that enable us to pinpoint outages, access complex mapping, and provide faster response times. Jackson EMC, innovation for today, innovation for tomorrow.
This is Terrell with the Spa on Green Street. Exciting news! We're thrilled to welcome Dr. Elisa Reynolds and Kim Baldwin to our team of wellness providers. Dr. Elisa brings her passion for functional medicine, chiropractic care, and mind-body wellness healing, helping you to uncover the root causes of imbalance and guiding you towards lasting vitality. Kim combines her expertise in breathwork, mindful awareness, and energy holistic compassionate care. Come meet them both and appreciate a new level of wellness. SpaOnGreenStreet.com.
Does your office technology slow your team down? Nothing is more frustrating than printers that jam, copiers that won't connect, and service providers that don't follow through. You and your team deserve technology that works. I'm Matt Nick, president of Duplicating Products, and for over 50 years, we've helped North Georgia offices eliminate bottlenecks, reduce downtime, and get reliable support for office technology. Our promise, we do what we say we will do. If you're tired of office equipment headaches, it's time for a change. Visit us today at duplicatingproducts.com.
Hello, I'm Greg Beatles, president of your Atlanta Falcons and also proud supporter of Eagle Ranch. My family and the Falcons have been involved with the ranch for many years. Eagle Ranch has expanded its services to meet the increased needs in our community, to include outpatient counseling, a day school program, a residential program, and other therapeutic services that are both affordable and accessible. Learn more at eagleranch.org. That's eagleranch.org.
It's bad enough you get wet when your roof leaks, so don't get soaked when it comes to getting it repaired. This is Chris Earls at Georgia Select Roofing, where we have outstanding Google reviews and an A+ BBB rating, because we know roofing and customer service. If it's a new roof, a roof repair, or gutters and downspouts, estimates are free and we offer financing. See us online at georgiaselectroofing.com or call me at 678-316-6899. At Georgia Select Roofing, we have you covered.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, National Weather Service has issued a winter freeze warning for later this evening into Tuesday. Will snowfall in the North Mountains? Details at Access WDUN and coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
Use the Access WDUN Talk and Text line, presented by M&R Rental at 770-535-2911, and be part of the conversation. From the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville, it's the Martha Zoller Show on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Welcome back to the Martha Zoller Show. I'm Tom Smiley filling in. And yes, Steve Moore, it would be great if Georgia had no income tax. I agree. We'll see what happens. We got other places around us that don't have that. Many people are moving to those places. All right. Due to the extraordinary producer's massive capacity. I mean, we have a producer with high capacity. And extraordinary producer Brother Logan has found that Obama clip I want you to listen to. So I just don't understand the African American voter. I just don't understand. I just don't get it. How I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I look at Barack Hussein Obama and I say, sir, you have no legitimacy here. I mean, you have no standing. Because at one point you come into town and you criticize the black men, especially for not voting for a black woman, Kamala Harris, who you say is qualified to be president. And then on the other hand, you fly over to Virginia and you criticize black people for voting for a black lady who has great capacity, Winsome Earl Sears, who was running for governor. And you say, don't vote for her, vote for the white woman. I mean, I just don't get it. Maybe an African-American Democrat can text me or call me, 770-535-2911, and tell me why Barack Hussein Obama holds such sway over you. But I want you to listen to some of this. I'll cut it off in just a minute or two, but listen to his words. Listen to what this man actually says.
Watch this. This is Barack Obama talking to black men when Kamala Harris was running for president. Pay attention to what he's saying, and then pay attention to what I show you after and think about it.
On the one hand, you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. He said, work harder and do more.
So when he's talking to black men about voting for Kamala Harris, he makes sure to make it about race and say she's like you. You need to vote for her. But now let's translate that to the governor's race in Virginia. You have a black woman running. Her name is Winsome Earl Sears, and a white woman named Abigail Spanberger. Let's take a look and see who Barack Obama endorsed.
Virginia's elections are some of the most important in the country this year, and I am proud to endorse Abigail Spanberger for governor.
But Barack Obama was just telling black men that we should have voted for Kamala Harris because she's black and has similar experiences as us. But now there's a black woman running for governor in the state of Virginia, and Barack Obama is endorsing the white woman. Why is that? Because it's not about aligning yourself with people that look like you. It's about Democrats staying in power or getting power. Barack Obama was just manipulating black people's sensitivity on race in order to get them to vote for a Democrat. But now that the black person is a Republican and not a Democrat, he's going to vote against that black individual. So again, it's not about skin color. It's about political power, and Democrats just manipulate black people's sensitivity on race in order to get black people to help Democrats stay in power. And many black Americans don't realize it. And that's exactly what Barack Obama was doing.
Well, that's certainly one opinion. And I mean, it does seem to have some validity to me, just as an outsider looking in. We'll go to the phone calls. I asked for someone to call, and Jerry said, well, I'll call. Jerry from Livonia, glad to have you. Thank you for calling.
Yes, how you doing, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
What are we going to let that Obama and that other stuff go, Kamala Harris? Y'all got who y'all want, and I will be happy. How about that?
Okay, but what about Barack Obama's conversation saying vote for Kamala because she's black, but don't vote for Winsome Earl Sears because she is black? Do you see any disconnect there, Jerry?
No, sir.
Okay, so you see no disconnect. So is it about race and struggle and being like-minded, or is it about power and maintaining democratic power, in your opinion?
It's about power with Trump. He's nothing but a dictator. He want to be a dictator.
Okay.
But God's going to take care of us all, you know?
Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate it. I asked for someone to call, and you stepped up and called, and I really appreciate it. So there you go. I still don't see – I see a disconnect. Jerry doesn't, but that's the difference between he and I. All right, I want to move on real quickly before we close out today's show, because I am just very concerned about what's happening in Nigeria with the butchering of Christians. Now, you know, I am a Christian, so this is very near to my heart, right? I pray for my Christian brothers and sisters in Nigeria. Here's President Trump talking about what he sees as a butchering, murdering of Christians in Nigeria.
Facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands and thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I am hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. That's a legal definition. When the Christians or any such group is slaughtered, like is happening in Nigeria, 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide. What horrible numbers. Something has to be done. I am asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole and the House Appropriations Committee, to immediately look into this matter and to report back to me. And I mean like immediately. The United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. It's not only Nigeria, it's all over. We stand ready, willing, and able to save our great Christian population around the world. This is not going to happen. The killing of Christians is not going to happen.
Well, thank you for that, President Trump. It is happening, as you mentioned. I can tell you that over 52,000 Christians have been murdered by Islamic militants in Nigeria since 2009. That's 52,000. 52,000, ladies and gentlemen, since 2009. In 2025 alone, some reports estimate that 7,000 Christians were killed in the first 221 days of this year. I mean, is it our place to step up? Is it America's place to step up? Now, you'll read from the Nigerian governmental officials that say, oh, there's nothing to see here. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. This isn't about Christian genocide. This is just about violence in general. Just a coincidence that 52,000 of them have been Christians. Just a coincidence that 7,000 since 2025 have been Christians. There's nothing to see here. We have a violence problem. We don't have a genocide problem. Caroline Leavitt, this is what she said when she was talking about what President Trump is intended on doing.
If the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, the United States will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may take action to wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities, especially against innocent women and children.
Not only is this violence against Christians, creating their death, but it's also creating mass displacement. Millions of Christians living in displacement camps. Thousands of churches and schools being destroyed and set ablaze. So I don't know. I wanted to close today's show with that. I've been wanting to share that all week, and I just never was able to work it in. But this is something that I would encourage you to keep your eye on. Please keep your eye on this Islamic militant destruction, killing, death of Christians in Nigeria. It's just very sad. It's very painful for me to watch. I mean, isn't it interesting that these Islamic militants always try to destroy the schools? They want to burn the schools, the churches. Isn't it interesting that, we hear all this peacefulness about Islam being a religion of peace? Well, I don't see that. I'm just telling you what I see. All right, it's been my joy to be with you. I'll be back later on in the month, a little bit in December. Martha will be back tomorrow, and boy, does she have some stuff to share with you. Don't miss Martha Zoller in the morning.